Hi, this is Brian McHenry of McHenry Software. There's a quick overview of the couple changes that are included in the 2.35 update that I think are important that you know so that you don't get confused. The two main changes are that there is two ways to start up MEdit. One is in the MEdit grid per the prior way that it's worked, but also you can start directly in graphics, and we will show you that. The second item is on new projects now. We have where you actually pick a model first and then go to the specifications. But let's begin with the traditional way. There's two shortcuts put on your desktop. The MSoft MSmac 3D, which starts in the grid mode, and then there's the McHenry 3D graphics shortcut. We'll probably make those different icons, but at this point right now they both have the same icon, but when you start it's about the same thing. We start in the old traditional way. It brings up the grid like this, as most of our demonstrations in the videos show. To go to graphics, you obviously can run 3D, 2D, or any of these four icons bring you to the 3D graphics. And then 3D graphics, you have the ability to basically do editing and do everything from here too. For example, here is your edit, which does the same thing as the grid edit does. You notice it has the description down here, and if you hit an F1 at any field, it brings up the description of that, which we call cards. They're actually a line, but the description of what the fields mean. And then you can also automatically run here in 2D or 3D. Now the other way to start is now with the McHenry 3D graphics. We click on the icon, and it has this ability to escape if you have a problem with a project. That was one item that probably went by there pretty fast because this is a quick loading project. But now we have the 3D graphics, and there are two changes in the icons on the top here. Otherwise it's the same. One is here is the classic MEdit. That's how you go to the grid. And over here are menus for the project, new project, open project, backup, and restore projects. Let's just walk through those real quickly. One, to go to grid, you just click on grid, and it jumps back to grid, and here you have all the functionality as before. And then instead of having the four icons here, you just go back to graphics, and you're back in graphics. Over here we have four choices: project, new, open, new project, backup project, restore project, and open project folder in Windows Explorer. Those are the four options that are there. Otherwise, all these icons work the same. And to go again to grid, you just click on grid here, and we're back in the grid and all the functionality, and then we go back to graphics. Now the second item that's a change for 2.35 is that when we do a new project now, you click on new project, which you can do from the graphics or from the grid. You can see in the video how to do it from the grid. I'm showing you where you start, this icon right here. You have a project name that you put in there. It can be any project name. Any project name, any project name. And then now instead of going to the specs, what you do is you go and you select a model. Now you first can select just a standard model, large, medium, small, etc. Or you can go out and look at what models we have available. And you see that there's a number of models here. If you don't see your model in here, you can pick one that's similar, because most of these have the specs which show you the overall dimensions. You find one that's about the same size, and then you let us know by going to 3dcadbrowser.com. You find a model there or any other model you can get in DXF. But if you just point us to the model that's on 3dCAD browser, send us a link to it, we will then download it and convert it to work with our graphics. Now once you have the model there, there's the other thing is instead of going to the specs, you go edit, and it shows you what are stored in that model. And then you can also choose specs here. So we could put in Mustang up here, and it will show you and give you the choices for different models, etc. of the Mustang. Also, you put in your occupant weight, etc., and you make sure that all these items are working. Now, Also nodes, if you have one that's a rollover, we recommend you use 3D model. If you don't, you can just use vehicle type. Um, then we just go ahead and say OK, and we say OK. And then for the second one, we again go and can pick out a model, or you can use the typical standard models. We can edit. You click edit to see what's in there. Here I notice there's a missing thing here. If we want to calculate the static margin, we click there, and then we say OK. And again, you can actually, if it's like this one was a BMW, so you can go to BMW and you put the 3 Series. You would go find the model that you want and load up whatever the model is. It then loads up those specs in there. And then you say OK, OK, and then we finish. Now it brings you with the typical just an intersection impact. The next step, obviously, with new projects, and you'll see this in our new project demonstrations, is to go and put in a ground. You can bring in a terrain from images. We have a collection of some images for full-scale tests and also some overhead. You can go and get those also. Or you can go and do a Google map. And one of the changes we have for Google Maps is it now brings in the elevations. So we could go like something like Maine and Transit. And we zoom in a little. And we say that we want the terrain. And then we say satellite. Ask for terrain. Satellite and terrain. And let's turn off the labels. Then we say OK. And if it's red up here, that means you're getting too large an area. But here we have an area here. And if we go to overhead, we go flat view. Those models will be sitting on it soon. We go to flat view. And then we can grab and change our positions. If you click, you notice there's a pink item. We can move him over here. Click on him, move him here. And you can set your speed. We'll put him at 40 instead of 30. We go ahead and we take out flat view. You don't want flat view, we want a 3D. Then we run it, and it'll put it on the terrain. And if we go down to ground level, also in here you could do Google Maps, then you have a DXF file you can bring in, and you can bring in a point cloud or a DXF mesh. But the main difference now again is that when you do a new project, step 2 is that you pick a model. A couple other items that are new. Video now, there's 3 different formats of video that you can make. But to do the Windows Metafile view, you have to, when we go into here, you notice that it says not a standard size. To do the WMV files, you have to set it to standard size. And all you do is you click on size and either pick a size that you want, or I normally look for one that's close to my current size. Now I could be full screen or something, or whatever size you think you want or need, but 1024 by 600, so we can go right here. That makes it a standard size. And then let's just make sure we got a view we want. Okay, so now again going back here, and you just say right. And I'm just manually doing this. You can do that with the tracking camera if you want, but I just manually did that. And then I go out to the movie and I say write movie. And we'll call this test 1. Let's just show you that. You see, you set the name. You say save. Yeah, we want to replace it. I save it to the movies directory that's in MSoft 3D. You can save it anywhere on your computer. Then when we go out to the movies directory, you see there's test 1. Again, crude manual. If you use the actual tracking camera, it's much smoother. Look at the tracking camera demonstration there. Another thing that we have is now you have lights, and we're going to do some demonstrations on this, but you can turn on up to 10 lights, and I think I just got an email this morning that the ability to add it to the cars is also in there. So probably in the next week or two, we'll be doing a minor update that'll just update your 2.35 to maybe 2.36 or 7, whatever we call it, but it'll be a small update to be able to add that. That's about it. Again, the main points are that you can start in 3D graphics, or you can start in the grid mode, and you can jump between the two of them from either mode. And then the second thing is with a new project, you pick a model, and if you don't have the model, go to 3dcadbrowser.com, and that will show you. Actually, instead of the two important changes, we have a number of other changes in this update. For example, we have the ability to put in billboards and some other things, like if you've checked on our forum, we have demonstrations of the car jumping into the second floor and things like that. We did billboards and things like that, so you can actually put background in there. But we'll have some demonstration videos on that shortly. Make sure you just check the forum from McHenrysoftware.com. Go to the support, and there's a forum, and then you go to the forum, MSMAC 3D, or also in the licensee only sections have a lot of these. And of course, anytime, send us an email or call us and let us know if you have any questions or problems, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you for your support of McHenry Software, and that's all.